Studio quality headphones at a budget price. Let's check these out. Oh, Dave Taylor here. I'm checking out these. These are the Atom Audio H200 Studio Headphones. And as you can see, they are slim and small and they are wired. Now, studio headphones generally are designed to go into mixing panels and into computer systems where you're mixing and creating music, but of course you can also just use them as regular headphones. What makes them studio is generally they have a very flat and very accurate reproduction of the music, and these do just that. So let me give you some specs, and as I do that, let me show you a couple of photos. They're powered by 40mm peak performance neodymium drivers, and they have 32 ohms resistance with a max SPL of 112.5 decibels and an impressive frequency response of 2 to 23,500 hertz. That is definitely better than I can hear at both ends of the spectrum. The design, they are closed back, they are very attractive looking, and they have an aluminum yoke, so they definitely feel like they're gonna last a good long time. I will say they are kind of clampy, so they're kind of a little tight. If you have a cabeza grande like me, you might find it to be, certainly when you first get them, that they're pretty snug. But as you wear them, things tend to loosen a little bit, so they will become more comfortable. If you have a smaller head, of course, then you don't have that issue. Now, the wire it comes with is nice and long. This is a wire that's long enough that if you're working at a mixing board on a chair with wheels, that sort of traditional setup, you can move away from the board, turn around and talk to people, all while you stay plugged in. The end of it is a 3.5mm, but of course there's a 1/4-inch adapter, so if you have a larger plug on your device, you can plug it in. And in fact, Atom Audio has their Headphone Utility DAW plugin, and this is for Mac or Windows, and a DAW is a digital audio workstation. So you can download some software that actually plugs into the biggest and most popular audio mixing programs, and then through that plugin you can actually adjust whether you want a pure reproduction or a uniform natural reproduction. And what are the nuances between those? That's best going to be answered by your ears and you listening. So that's kind of a lot of what I have here for you with these headphones. They do have a nice big L and R, so it's easy for you to know which way to plug them in and put them on your head. And what's cool is that the wire has a 2.5mm plug on the end, so you can actually plug it in on either side. So I just switched it so that instead of having the wire running down the right side of my head, it now runs down the left side. If you're left-handed, you might want the wire away from your hand, for example. So having that bit of flexibility is very nice. Also comes with a nice and surprisingly heavy-duty canvas case. This feels like it will actually protect it. As I said, it does come with that 1/4-inch adapter and a user guide and a box. I know, pretty exciting, right? A box. So that's about everything I can tell you in terms of the physical characteristics of these headphones. They are adjustable. There's a relatively small amount of play, so they are a pretty fixed unit in terms of how they're going to fit on your head. Which brings us to music reproduction. And they sound pretty darn good. I will say that I didn't feel like they had a big sound stage, so it felt like more of an intimate music reproduction, but I tried it with a bunch of different music, especially a lot of stuff of like sort of 80s new wave and new pop and all that sort of stuff. And a lot of those have really nice engineering and they're really lush track on track sort of designs, and the audio reproduction was good. It was very much a studio monitor sort of experience where it was very flat, so there wasn't a lot of bass, there wasn't a lot of treble. It just felt like a very natural reproduction of whatever the musicians had designed. But The downside is, as I said, it doesn't have a big sound stage. So if you're looking for something that gives you a really expansive sound, then these are not those headphones. But that's not really their design or intention. So I would argue that these are really good for what they are, which is to plug into your mixing board or your audio gear and use them to help you create really good recordings. And in that sort of situation, it's really important that your headphones aren't adding to the music, because you want to make sure that everything you change is in the source, not something affected by how you're listening. So these work really well in that regard. They are light, they are portable, they are easy to use. Like I said, the biggest issue is that they're a bit tight, and a lot of users have complained that they're a little bit on the more like clamp on your head style. And I would guess that the company in their next iteration might make this just a little bit looser for an adult size head, but I didn't find it to be a huge issue, other than when I listened for more than an hour or two. Then I had some sort of head and ear fatigue, so I needed to take them off and just give my brain a break for a few minutes. But again, as I said earlier, I think that over the course of some hours of usage, that would go away or certainly become less of an issue. So that's pretty much what I got here. These are definitely worthwhile and affordable if you're looking for something to plug into your mixing board and you want to have a nice, faithful reproduction of your music. Now, I am going to ask you to subscribe to my channel. Click or tap on that subscribe button, hit that bell icon for notifications, and do me a favor and give me a thumbs up if you found this of value. Excellent. These are the Adam Audio H200 Studio Headphones, and they are $149.99 at Amazon.com, or if you prefer, at us.adam-audio.com. Either way, same price, same headphones with the carrying bag and everything else that's in the box that I showed you. And if you're looking for something that's going to give you a very faithful response and a faithful reproduction, these might just be what you need. So that's all I got. I think I'm going to go back to my music, and they are pretty acoustically isolating too, I'll tell you that. So, all right, let me get this going. So I'll hope to catch you in my next video.